Hey guys, today we are going to be reacting to 10 weather moments caught on security cameras. Let's start.
From the exact moment a powerful tsunami engulfs a neighborhood and a violent bolt of lightning snaps a tree in half, to the startling moment an EF2 tornado tears through a warehouse and a surprise flood fills a classroom. Here are 10 extreme weather moments that were caught on security cameras.
Number 10.
With a population of almost 39,000 people, Spartanburg, South Carolina is the 11th largest city in the state. It was named after a local Revolutionary War militia called the Spartan Regiment, who obviously got their name from the ancient warrior culture. On October 23rd of 2017, an EF2 tornado ripped through the heart of Spartanburg, causing massive amounts of damage to several homes and businesses.
That's not good.
CCTV footage from inside of a factory shows what it's like when a tornado hits you head on. It seems like business as usual inside the garage as a few workers peer out the window to see what's going on. But the weather picks up, and they all run for cover as the wind whips through the building. One man barely makes it inside before the tornado rips down the walls. Something strikes and cracks the camera lens, and we lose visual until the storm passes. All that's left is a heaping pile of concrete and twisted metal. Imagine how fast the wind has to be to knock over a forklift. Thankfully, there were no reported injuries from the tornado, though it still caused about $5.6 million worth of damage. According to meteorologist Jennifer Watson, tornadoes aren't rare in South Carolina, but they are a little unusual. Despite the damage, I'm sure these workers were just glad to leave that room when they did.
Number 9.
She called me crazy for calling.
I got an ad.
Palu is the capital city of Central Sulawesi, Indonesia. In 2018, they were rocked by a devastating earthquake and subsequent tsunami that caused massive damage. The Palu event claimed over 4,000 lives and damaged more than 70,000 houses. It caused a mosque, shopping mall, and 8-story hotel to collapse, trapping those still inside. A tsunami warning went out via SMS messaging, but residents in Palu were told not to expect anything bigger than 1.6 feet. A homeowner who lived about 100 meters from the beach had their security cameras rolling when the waves came ashore. Whoever predicted 1.6 feet couldn't have been more wrong. Things began shortly after 6 p.m. As the family was having a fire in their backyard, the earthquake struck. You can see everything begin to shake. The car slides backwards, and scooters fall to the ground. In the background, you can see the family grabbing a metal door for support as they ride out the quake. Unbeknownst to them, the worst is yet to come. Only a couple of minutes later, the camera turns to black and white, and with quite literally no warning, a wall of water engulfs the backyard. It rises as high as the top of the door before starting to subside, leaving a ton of random debris scattered all over the property. The tsunami waves in Palu ended up being at least 6 feet tall, and many reported waves that reached the second floor of their homes. The 7.5 magnitude earthquake struck the neck of the Minahasa Peninsula, about 43 miles away from the city. It was the deadliest earthquake worldwide in 2018, and the worst in Indonesia since 2006.
Number 8.
Luxembourg, also known as the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg, is a landlocked country between Belgium, France, and Germany. Right on the French and Belgian border sits the small town of Pétange, known to host the country's largest Catholic carnival celebration every year. They were also the first town to be liberated in Luxembourg after the German occupation in World War II. But Pétange made headlines for new reasons on August 9th of 2019, when a powerful multi-vortex tornado tore through the town at EF2 intensity. 72-mile-per-hour winds leveled 160 buildings, injured 19 people, and destroyed every roof in sight. One homeowner kept their security cameras rolling when the twister passed over their backyard. At first, it doesn't seem like much. A light wind blows the trees, but that all changes in a moment's notice. The wind picks up and the child's playhouse is doomed. But everything else should survive, right? Wrong. Seconds later, the tornado passes overhead, lifting anything that isn't bolted to the ground.
Oh my God.
It eventually hits the house, causing even more damage. And we're not sure why the image turns red, though. Perhaps it just damaged the camera. Once the storm passes, we see the full scale of destruction left in its wake. Just take a look at how the backyard looked before versus how it looks now. All that happened in 30 seconds. The Patage tornado traveled 8.6 miles, leaving what one local cop called a swath of desolation. It left 100 people homeless, and while some were able to make repairs, others were left to fight back and forth with their insurance companies. Even a year later, some victims were still without permanent homes.
Number 7.
Port-au-Basque is a coastal town on the southwestern tip of Newfoundland, Canada. They're a small community of only 3,500 people, but most of them had to evacuate in September of 2022 when Hurricane Fiona made landfall. Fiona was the first major hurricane of the 2022 season. The Category 4 storm worked its way across the Atlantic Ocean and made a mess in the Caribbean before moving north towards eastern Canada. 103-mile-per-hour winds sent tsunami-like waves crashing onto the Port-au-Basque shores, and CCTV footage captured the moment they tore 2 homes from their foundation.
Ooh, I see a big wave. Oh! Oh my God. Oh, those houses are in the background. Oh. Oh, here it comes. I see a war. Oh. Oh. Those houses. Oh my goodness.
The powerful wave sends both houses floating away with ease and crashing into their neighbors. We also see a car spit out between the 2 houses before it gets washed down the street. According to reports, Fiona's wind and storm surge washed over 100 houses out to sea. Locals called it a community-changing event and one of the worst storms they had ever seen. Between the Caribbean and Canada, Fiona caused more than $2.68 billion in damage. Before Fiona hit, the Canadian Hurricane Center wrote, "The storm will be a severe event for Atlantic Canada and eastern Quebec." Based on atmospheric pressure, Fiona went down as the strongest hurricane in Canadian history.
Number 6.
Wentzville, Missouri is a small city on the outskirts of the St. Louis metro area. They've been the fastest growing city in the state over the past 2 decades, meaning they needed more and more schools to teach incoming children. One of those schools is a daycare center called Future Stars Academy. In May of 2021, heavy rainfall pelted Wentzville with more water than expected. The rain led to a plumbing backup at Future Stars, which caused the outside stairwell to fill with water. You can see it through the classroom window, although it is a bit difficult to see until the metal door breaks. Once it does, all that water rushes into the classroom. It swirls in the center, carrying all the children's toys and tables with it. Once the flood settles, all that's left is a pool of murky brown water and some spinning toys. Daycare director Amelia Vaughn chose to look on the bright side. The room had a sump pump since it was in the basement. Once the rain stopped, the pump got all the water out. If not for the sump pump, Amelia believes the damage could have been much worse. Apparently, there was a teacher in the room moments before the door broke. While she probably would have been fine, nobody wants to stand in that unholy brown muck.
Yeah.
Stop.
Oh,
Before you do
another
all the shopping
ad.
this year, really fast. Let me show you one simple trick.
Alright. Number 5.
In late September of 2018, a 2-day tornado outbreak in the Great Lakes region saw 37 tornadoes between the U.S. and Canada. They caused about $295 million in damage between the 2 countries, with most of the tornado damage happening on the U.S. side of the border. Still,
Phew.
Ontario and Quebec experienced some violent rain and windstorms with a few twisters of their own. Heavy winds ripped through Quebec, leaving thousands of people without power come September 22nd. CCTV footage from a Quebec storefront captured two terrifying angles, showing how powerful this wind really was. The footage opens with a camera in the parking lot as the wind sends debris flying towards the cars. It picks up drastically, and the rain effectively grays out the camera before breaking it. It's almost surreal how fast the wind is moving. The footage then cuts to two people standing on the porch as the storm passes. They hang on for dear life and keep their heads down to avoid flying debris. The worst of it finally passes, and the two can hardly believe what they just witnessed. What was only moments before a perfectly calm day turned into a nightmare weather event in the blink of an eye, and just as quickly as it came, it was gone. According to Hydro-Quebec, at least 129,000 homes lost power by 9 p.m. on Friday the 21st. Over 60 repair teams hit the road to fix the damaged power lines, and Canadian officials issued high wind warnings across the province.
Number 4.
Lightning strikes are not exactly a rare thing, but capturing them up close on camera definitely is. They strike with no warning and are gone in a flash, literally. The only cameras ever able to really record these moments are security cameras, constantly rolling and lucky enough to be pointed in the right direction. Back in 2014, cameras at a state park in New York captured the moment a bolt ripped apart a tree. You see a bright flash, and then the top half of it comes falling down. It even stripped the bark in some areas. More recently, in 2019, a doorbell camera captured a lightning strike that actually caught the house on fire. Now, you don't see the fire in this video, but thankfully, firemen arrived in time to contain the blaze, and nobody inside the house that was hit was injured. The video was released by the Rosenberg Fire Department as a reminder to always be vigilant during lightning storms.
Number 3.
Now, you probably don't associate winter with tornadoes, but December 2021 into January of 2022 proved to be a pretty busy time for twisters in Kentucky. Powerful storms touched down on December 10th of 2021, leaving a 260-mile trail of destruction. On January 1st, 6 more storms struck around the state, though none exceeded EF1 level damage. Sometime during this storm stretch, a Ring doorbell camera captured one of the tornadoes coming close to a homeowner's front porch.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. That is amazing. I feel bad for anyone who's harmed in this way.
The violent winds do a number on the porch as objects and debris fly in every direction. You can see the trees bending in the distance, and at one point, the support column under the roof twists to the left. Pieces of the roof fly across the yard, and a patio table lands hard next to the truck. Eventually, the tornado passes, just in time for the homeowner to arrive and assess the damage. Peak tornado season in Kentucky is usually between April and May, and they can expect about 21 events throughout the year. According to the Storm Prediction Center, there were 48 tornadoes in January of 2022. Funny enough, none of them were in Tornado Alley, aka Oklahoma, Kansas, and Nebraska. Luliang, China is a prefecture-level city of over 3.3 million people. They have a monsoon-influenced climate, putting them on the border of semi-arid and humid. Winters can be cold and dry, while summer can be hot and humid. Back on October 5th of 2021, CCTV cameras captured the moment a surprise landslide sent a pair of Chinese men running for cover when it almost took out the building they stood in moments before. Judging by the buckets and steady stream of water, we can tell it's been raining for some time. A man appears in the open doorway across the parking lot when, without warning, a powerful landslide crashes through the wall a few feet away. He takes off running, followed closely by a friend. The first man takes a moment to evaluate the damage before running to move his car. They can probably fix the brick wall. His car? Not so much. For China, mud and landslides are serious problems. They lose hundreds of lives during the rainy season and upwards of 1,000 annually. These disasters are most common in mountainous regions where deforestation plays a big role in China's flooding problem. Because there aren't enough plants, trees, and bushes to absorb the rainwater, it runs off too quickly, causing flash floods. And while the landslide in this video wasn't that bad, it could have been much worse.
Yeah, could have been. Number 1. I forgot to say number 2.
Guangdong is a coastal province in southern China and home to over 126 million people, making it the most populous region in the country. It also sports the largest economy in China. With a GDP of $1.95 trillion, they would rank between Brazil and Italy if they were their own country. But for all their economic successes, Guangdong province, like the rest of China, still has a serious landslide problem. On April 11th of 2019, heavy rainstorms dumped a ton of water on Guangdong province. Highway CCTV shows 2 cars driving down the road like it was any other day. Then, out of nowhere, a landslide comes barreling down the mountain, engulfing the black car. The white car slams on its brakes, barely stopping in time. Footage of the aftermath shows the traffic jam forming as workers try to clear the road. They were luckily able to keep one lane open. As for our friend in the black car, both he and his car were just fine. If you ever get caught in your car during a landslide, don't panic. Panicking is probably the worst thing you can do in any dangerous situation. Then again, that's easier said than done. Your car's frame is strong enough to withstand the mud and debris in small situations. Keep the windows up, don't open the doors, and wait patiently for rescue workers. Well, that's all we have for you today. If you enjoyed this video and want to see another just like it, be sure to click the link on...
That was pretty epic. That was very epic. So guys, thank you for watching. That was really epic. Tell me what you guys thought of this video in the comments, and I'll see you next time.